If you're a student or a fresh graduate, the next few minutes are very important for you. I'm here at Oliv to interview Jean-Michel Gauthier. Now that you know John, let's go meet him. Hi John.
Hi Andrew, nice to meet you.
Beautiful office you have here.
Welcome to Oliv. Have a seat please.
Thank you. Let me start off by asking you, what inspired you to start InternsME?
Well, my co-founders and I, we grew up here in Dubai. We had ourselves experienced the challenge of getting our career started when we were recent graduates. Taking a wider view of the issue, we uncovered that here in the Middle East, we have the world's highest youth unemployment rates. Now, the economic opportunity of helping young people get their career started is massive, and the socio-economic impact of that as well, also very important. So it's something that we felt tremendously passionate about. And that's what's brought us to start the company.
Since InternsME began, how do you think the job market has changed in the UAE?
Well, when we started Oliv about 6 years ago, as many of your colleagues and your fellow students will know, we were named InternsME. And the concept of an internship in the market was still relatively new and novel. A lot of businesses hadn't yet offered an internship. So the market was still very nascent back then. And when speaking to companies and students, we had to do a lot of raising of awareness. We had to do a lot of educational activities in the market to explain this is what it is, this is how it works, these are the benefits. But we've come a long way since then. We now work with almost 2,000 companies, and so a precedent has been set in almost every industry sector. We work with small, medium, and very large organizations as well. So we have plenty of case studies to show. And therefore, to answer your question, the market has evolved substantially since then. Things are a lot better now for students and graduates as employers have recognized that they need to offer, there's a competitive element to this. So they need to offer attractive and appealing internship and graduate job opportunities to get the best students and graduates on board. So things have moved quite some way since we started.
It's not only the students looking for jobs, but the companies looking for interns as well.
Right, because it's a win-win, right? A young person, like a student or a recent graduate, wants to get work experience, wants to learn something, and wants to start building their CV so that they can get their career started. But the organizations are also looking to uncover the best young talents.
InternsME is now Oliv. How did you come up with the name Oliv? And how has the market responded to it so far?
It was in April this year, or April 2018, that we rebranded to oliv.com, that's oliv.com, in line with the launch of our brand new platform. There's a couple of reasons why we chose to rebrand, but first and foremost is that our platform caters to the full spectrum of entry-level career opportunities. Of course, that still includes internships, but it also includes traineeships, part-time work, full-time graduate jobs, volunteer jobs, event jobs, sort of everything in between. And a lot of people ask us, well, why Oliv? We started to look for words that were symbolic of the journey that a young person goes through in getting their career started. And the story of the olive tree is remarkable in that, and not many people know this, that olive trees can live for an extremely long time, millennia. They require nourishment to get going, but once they do get going and growing, they can live for millennia. And we thought, well, that in many ways embodies the story of the youth. Needing a little bit of support to start off with, but then having a tremendous long-term career ahead of them. The market reception has been tremendous, far better than we anticipated.
Your startup was the first to receive 2 million from the Mohammed bin Rashid Innovation Fund. Can you take us through some of the innovation that your startup has brought to this industry?
Well, from day one, we always pursued a differentiation strategy. There are many people in the overall recruitment industry, there are many organizations in the overall recruitment industry that have long ago launched job boards, have long ago established recruitment agencies, and we knew to address the needs of the youth, things had to be done differently. So our idea in 2012 was to launch video CVs. Nowadays, video CVs are quite commonplace, but back then we were the first. And you know what a video CV is, right? A 30 to 60-second video clip where a young person can showcase the things that you don't see on traditional CVs, which are your soft skills, your passion, and then they can pitch an employer. Basically, they give the employer this little elevator pitch of this is who I am, this is what I can bring to the table. But since then, we've introduced a number of other innovations. Most importantly, that Oliv.com is not an open access platform. It's a curated marketplace. It's quality controlled, which means that students and graduates are only going to apply to verified jobs from real companies that offer real learning opportunities. And those companies likewise are only going to receive applications from bona fide young students and graduates that are looking to get their career started. But most notably, when we launched Oliv.com just a few months ago, at the time of launch, Oliv was the world's fastest career platform. Our search results, we would return search results in 12 milliseconds. So we're hundreds of times faster than your usual career site experience. And we've built in a lot of functionality to really make the experience seamless. The platform is very easy to use, and so much support and guidance along the way. We have Oliv Academy, a resource center that helps young people find answers to the kind of questions of how do I optimize my CV? How do I make a great impression in an interview? Basically, the bottom line, how do I land that internship or graduate job? So we've always innovated, and we continue to innovate.
What's your golden advice for people who are looking for internships and jobs for the first time?
Well, I think the advice is that when you start an internship at a company, right, just think about what has gone into you arriving at this point, right? Think of the kind of conversations that have happened within the company. They've said, wouldn't it be great if we could have a young person come in and we could add some value to their career by offering them this work experience opportunity? But also, there's been a kind of an ROI discussion probably. They've thought, well, we have some work to do, and we'd like someone who's young that's going to come in and deliver this kind of value to us, right? That the win-win is there. We're going to help them get the work experience, but they're going to deliver some sort of output or outcome for us. So the interns that impress employers most and that have the most options available to them at the end of the internship, namely the most important one being a prospective full-time job offer, are the ones that have really thought about, well, how can I deliver the most value? How can I make the most impact here? How can I impress my team, impress my colleagues and my boss? How can I over-deliver? I don't want to sit at this desk and just be a sort of a very passive body here, not at intern level, and obviously, again, not at a full-time graduate, a full-time employee level. What more can I do? And the world's best organizations are the ones whose team members, including their interns and their graduate level hires, are the ones sitting there asking themselves that question all the time. What more can I do? How can I over-deliver? How can I make the most impact? How can I help my teammates? Am I communicating enough? And that's where you also find the most gratifying internships. Right? That as a young person, you've come in and you've really strived to basically be missed by the company by the time that you end. And more often than not, if you're missed, then by the time you graduate, that company is going to pick up the phone and say, we've been waiting for you to graduate because here's your full-time job offer.
You're a Dubai kid, born and brought up in UAE. Tell us about your journey.
Well, I grew up here in Dubai, and growing up, my favorite hobby was gaming, right? Like most of us, right? Back then, I mean, this was the days of Nintendo 64, right? So it was quite some time ago. As I went to university in London. That's when I started to, well, get an itch to do something in the business world. And my mother is an entrepreneur, and she's always inspired me. So when I was 21 years old, I launched my first company here in Dubai. It was a gaming company. The intention of this gaming company initially was for us to open network gaming centers. We pivoted, as many startups do, and we ended up importing to the UAE the world's fastest gaming PC. And we sold that PC. We sold it in retail outlets, we sold it to private majlises, direct to consumer. That was my first learning opportunity as kind of a young entrepreneur. It's what really gave me the entrepreneurial bug. And ever since, I've basically become increasingly unemployable. At this stage, all there is for me is really to continue being an entrepreneur. I was 28 when I co-founded Oliv, back then named InternsME. And it's obviously it's been quite a ride, and it continues to be that.
Thank you so much for joining our show, and hope you have a great day.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you.